The last day of 2020, starting with heavy rain shower and some wind gusts. But because of the curfew, the fireworks were pretty modest. I had something much more interesting and exciting to me. A weather warning and some weather updates telling me it's gonna be lots of wind and nice waves. How can you better start the new year? Chasing wind and waves in the Atlantic. This is what I woke up to the last day of 2020. But I don't mind. I have tons of things to organize and prepare because I have been looking at the weather forecast for tomorrow and are planning to go out sailing. Even though it's New Year's Eve, it's curfew on an island anyway, so I'd rather stay home and go early to bed. I expect some wind during the night and some serious waves early in the morning. So, according to the weather predictions, the wind is coming this way. So, a pretty northerly wind, which is, I would say, a little bit rare in this time of year. But it's at least coming this way, which means the waves will be pushing down here. And of course, it's funneling between, and you will have some coming around here. So, I'm actually at the moment anchored here. And I can promise you that's going to be really rolly. So what I'm going to do is to sail around the corner out here in the Atlantic, trying to test my old autopilot after rebuilding and configuration of that one, and to basically see if everything is okay. And then I will try to find a nice bay in here. One of these channels, or even closer up here, is really well protected. Because the waves will come down like this way, and around here you will be much more protected than on this side. So the sunshine is getting back, but I'm still doing some small things here. I'm changing the batteries of my smoke detectors. I have smoke detectors in all the cabins and throughout the whole boat, because fire is the last thing you want on board, and if you can discover it as soon as possible, that's a good thing. So today it's my battery change day. Okay, so it's a little bit rolly here today, but I think that's nothing compared to how it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, so let's just change these batteries and get on with this. And man, was I right. Look at this big ship, how she's rolling. It's just ridiculous. Luckily, I prepared everything yesterday and are ready to hoist my anchor and leave this bay. Also, I'm gonna do some test sail out on the Atlantic side, and I really look forward to that. It's not that much wind, so I'm gonna try to sail with my code 0. On my way south to the point before I go out to the Atlantic side and start tacking my way out. You can spot the code 0 is further in and behind the Genoa. It's now I should actually take it down and put it in the bag and take it down below. But I was planning to turn around and make a new try to make a cool video flying fast. Normally that would be no problem, as it's furled in and safely secured. Finally, I got some wind on the Atlantic side outside of Grenada. And then suddenly my code 0 unfurled itself. Not properly, so I could furl it in again, because it was something wrong. So my experience is the only thing you can do in a situation like that is trying to let it go. Because it was tangled up, the only thing is to let it go in the water. Then you have no power in it anymore, and it's easy to retrieve it back to the boat. But man, you're gonna have some work to untangle and clean and dry it all over again. Super excited after I dropped my anchor to go and pick up my GoPro camera. I was pretty sure that I had some really cool clips from flying the Code Zero and the challenge I had and all the waves, but only to find out it's gone. So 2021 starting well with another GoPro camera in the ocean. So my anchor is down. Obviously I have some work to do here to sort out. So my Code Zero, almost like it's kind of a curse on the sail. Every time I fly it, something goes bunkers. And I have to take it out from the bag again and furl it together after been cleaning and drying the sail all over again. Obviously this time the sail unfurled itself unintentionally. I mean seriously, I didn't want to fly the Code Zero in 26 knots wind. It's actually a bit sad that I lost the GoPro camera, because in that it would be so nice to show you how I saved my sail and how I fought to get it down, and what was actually the big challenge with it all. Yes, it's bear o'clock. I can't believe I have this place just to myself. I mean, there are so many bays here. Actually, this is pretty damn calm. And I'm alone. I mean, the neighbor bay is super crowded and super rolly. This has the perfect angle to the Atlantic waves and to the wind. So this is just like anchored in a fish pond. It's perfect. So this is from the angle. I was hoping to have some really cool videos flying the Code Zero and bouncing off in the big waves outside on the Atlantic side of Grenada. But anyway, shit happens. So one of the reasons I wanted to go out in some heavy seas and strong wind was not only to test my autopilot, but to check out how my temporary hatch was doing. So this hatch was destroyed when I arrived to Grenada. And this is nothing you can just find out of the shelf in boat stores. It actually has to be ordered from Germany. So one of the things I had to solve before leaving Port Louis Marina in December was to actually make a new hatch. I carry a lot of spare parts on board, but to have a wide range of hatches and portholes is impossible. Instead I carry some plexi and Lexan, and it's pre-cut on all the sizes, so I can easily convert or make a new hatch or port hole out of what I carry on board. My tiny Dremel has paid itself I don't know how many times. Obviously I don't carry two-tone colored plexi, so I just improvised with painting on the backside to give it a little bit visual look, so it doesn't stand out too much compared to the rest of the hatches on board. Luckily it stayed dry, but I could see that this was not 100% perfect, so I will have to improve it a little bit before I continue sailing. Even though it was a short sail and not as much wind I was hoping for, this has been really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. You can imagine after such a long time in a marina and on anchorage to finally go out sailing again, it's such a blessing. Yeah, so it's time to make some breakfast. I have some leftovers from yesterday, so I'm just gonna, fry some spicy chorizo. Not perfect, but we have to. But it's like I just hate being the frame, that's the problem. I I really dislike to see myself on videos, so that's one of my biggest challenge I will try to work with in 2021. Thank you so much for watching, stay safe and healthy.
Things are moving along and I'm picking up speed. I'm singing my